Alright, welcome back to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell in the corner. Make sure you get notifications of any new videos that I post. Today we're going to be talking about another Golf that I've got sitting in the shop right now. It is a 2002 Volkswagen Golf 4-door TDI 5-speed. This car was actually purchased by my girlfriend. She had dreamed of owning a 4-door Golf, and I talked her into buying a TDI and a manual transmission. Unfortunately, at the time, she does not know how to drive a 5-speed. Alright, welcome back. Here we are talking about my other Golf that I've got in the shop right now. It is a 2002 4-door TDI 5-speed Golf. It was actually purchased by my girlfriend that wanted a 4-door Golf, and I talked her into getting a TDI, which is the turbo diesel version, with a manual transmission. And she currently does not feel comfortable driving a 5-speed car, so we are working on getting her comfortable with driving it. But in the meantime, I am driving it. We bought this car back in February of 2018, so almost a year ago. Since then, I have put a wheel bearing in the passenger side. I then changed out the inner and outer tie rods on both sides. And then the alternator went out, so I replaced the alternator. Then down to Naples, Florida and back. And then when we got back, the injection pump started leaking. So I found Diesel Geek offered a full set of replacement gaskets. So I bought that, replaced all the gaskets in it, pretty much rebuilt the injection pump, and then drove it around for a little while after that, a couple weeks, and then the clutch went out. So then pulled the transmission, put a new clutch in it, drove it around the block, brought it back, and the water pump was leaking. So the guy that we bought it from had the timing belt and water pump, all that stuff replaced at about 193,000 miles. When we bought the car, it had about 220,000 on it. So it was sitting about 228, 220, somewhere around in the 220s still, when we bought the car and the water pump was leaking still. So then I put a new timing belt, water pump, the thermostat, the new coolant temp sensor, all of that on it. And while I was in there, I decided to go ahead and delete the EGR valve. So I went ahead and ordered the hose kit to recirculate the coolant around the EGR instead of through it, and then fixed all the vacuum lines and all that stuff as well. Then turned around and drove it back to Naples, Florida, and back home. It was about a 15-hour drive. The car did awesome. Got about 50 miles to the gallon or so, maybe a little less on the way home because it was pretty much a monsoon all the way through Kentucky. So it may have gotten a little bit less fuel mileage, but at the same time, we got home and I still have half a tank left. So other Other than that, we got the hood wrapped into a color shifting pattern. So if you look at the hood straight on, it matches the blue-purple color that the car actually is. And from there, it shifts to about every other color that you can imagine. Being at the farthest point away from it, it is gold. So, you know, I'll include a video of that as well. And it's also a manual window, so a 4-door manual window Golf. This is the only one that I've ever seen. I've seen a Jetta that's 4-door, but I've never seen another Golf. And then I've got the Golf 2-door that is also manual crank windows. But yeah, I gotta swap the rest of the interior, changing it from the tan to the gray. So some of the parts are already swapped to gray, and some of them are still tan. The tan ones I just have not replaced yet. I'm working on, I had to get a new carpet and a couple other new pieces that will that look better than what I already had. I wasn't sure what to do about the door panels because the bottom of them are tan, and then the insert is where the crank window comes through, and that's where the handles mount and everything. So I may be able to get away with just swapping the inserts into the gray inserts, or the tan inserts into the gray door panel to make the manual window versions work. But I've got all of the seat belts, everything that's needed to swap this car to a completely gray interior. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I've got a whole lot of work to do to this car. I've got a whole nother project sitting here. As you've seen in some of my other videos, it's, you know, another full project that's going to be going on. But in the downtime, I'm going to be working on this other car, and I'm going to be driving it daily. And I've got my 04 Jetta that'll be in here, and I'll film some videos on what's being done to that as well. So if you've got any questions, feel free to comment. Please make sure to subscribe and check the notification button so you know every time a video is uploaded. Alright, thanks guys.